for everybody saying, I've been on the train and I've been afraid before, and I can't tell you what I would have done in that situation, I'm going to tell you. Ask how you can help. Don't attack. Don't choke. Don't kill. Don't take someone's life.
Daniel, do you have any comments? Are you a hero? Daniel, what do you have to say about the charges?
All right, guys, so we got an update on the Jordan Neely situation that we got to talk about, because once again, mob justice seems to have won, at the very least in the short term, as the Subway Samaritan, Daniel Penny, has been charged with manslaughter, and he had a $100,000 bond related to the death of Jordan Neely. Now, if you guys are living under a rock, right, and you didn't know what happened with this situation, Daniel Penny is the veteran that was involved in placing Jordan Neely, who was a homeless man, in a chokehold because Jordan Neely allegedly was potentially being violent on a subway, okay? And him, along with some other Subway Samaritans, held him down while Daniel Penny had him in a chokehold, and unfortunately, Jordan Neely died as a result. Now, I watched numerous videos, okay, of this incident, all the videos that have come out of the incident, and I personally believe that this was probably an act of self-defense, and that Daniel Penny did not intentionally try to kill Jordan Neely. That Jordan Neely put himself in a bad situation because he was probably mentally challenged or mentally ill homeless man who had been let down by his family, let down by his friends, let down by his peers, allowed to roam the streets, okay, and to commit acts of violence, which he had been arrested and charged for in the past numerous times, okay, over 40 times. And unfortunately for Mr. Neely, on that day, he decided to mess with the wrong people, or to agitate the wrong people, or to threaten the wrong people, and, you know, this incident ended up happening. He ended up losing his life. Now, I want to talk more about this because the outcome of this trial involving Mr. Penny is really going to determine whether or not Good Samaritans in the future step up when stuff like this happens, when homeless people or criminals are threatening people in public or pose a danger in public. So again, this is a big deal. But before I get into it, I want to go ahead and play some news clips here so you guys can get a better understanding of this situation and what's going on, and then we'll get into it. Take a look.
And this is a look right here at 24-year-old Daniel Penny walking into a police precinct this morning, turning himself in for the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. And now Neely's family is ready to address the public about this new development in the case. News 4's Tracy Strahan is live in Chinatown with the very latest. Tracy.
Adam, quite the busy morning here at the 5th Police Precinct. We know that Daniel Penny is in police custody at this hour, 11 days after that chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Penny's attorney continues to maintain that his client said the death of Jordan Neely was unintentional. This is what it looked like when the 24-year-old turned himself into authorities, leaving here in handcuffs. He first showed up around 8 o'clock this morning. The former Marine is facing a second-degree manslaughter charge in connection to the chokehold death of Neely on an Uptown F train. Witnesses say Neely, who was on a special watch list for the city's homeless population, was shouting that he was hungry and didn't care if he died. According to 911 calls, some riders felt threatened. Penny, a Marine vet, subdued Neely along with other passengers. Video from on board the train shows Penny on the ground with Neely in a chokehold for several minutes. Neely stopped moving and was later pronounced dead. Now, Penny was initially questioned by the NYPD, later released, though. In a statement through his lawyer, Penny said, quote, "Once facts in the case are brought to life, he'll be fully absolved of any wrongdoing."
He did so voluntarily and with the sort of dignity and integrity that is characteristic of his history of service to this grateful nation. He's dealing with the situation, like I said, with the sort of integrity and honor that is characteristic of who he is, characteristic of his honorable service in the United States Marine Corps.
Jordan Neely's family said the 30-year-old suffered from mental illness. In a statement earlier in the week, they said of Daniel Penny, quote, "He never attempted to help him at all. In short, his actions on the train and now his words show why he needs to be in prison." As we bring you back live here, we know that Penny is expected to face a judge for arraignment later today. That charge, second-degree manslaughter. We are also expecting to hear from Jordan Neely's family sometime later today as well. We're live in Chinatown this morning. Tracy Strahan, News 4, New York.
Daniel Penny walked out of the Lower Manhattan Criminal Court Friday, released on a $100,000 bond. Today in court, prosecutors stressed he maintained that chokehold for several minutes, even after the F train had arrived on its next stop.
The prosecution needs to prove that Daniel Penny acted recklessly when he caused the death of Jordan Neely.
How far does a self-defense get him?
Self-defense has to also be reasonable. It can't just be subjective.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said the investigation included numerous witness interviews, careful review of photo and video footage, and discussions with the medical examiner's office, which ruled the death a homicide.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Woke DA Alvin Bragg, backed by George Soros, decided to charge Daniel Penny with second-degree manslaughter. Now, we shouldn't be surprised by this because, again, the woke activists always seem to get their way, okay? Mob justice rules in this country, apparently, right? And we're going to talk about one of the witness testimonies here in regards to what happened because he's saying that, look, I charged them based off what witnesses were saying, okay? So we want to learn about what some of the witnesses there were actually saying about the situation so we can get a better idea of, you know, what happened. But first, I actually want to play a clip of the attorney for Jordan Neely's family speaking out.
No one on that train asked Jordan, what's wrong? How can I help you? He was choked to death instead. So for everybody saying, I've been on the train and I've been afraid before, and I can't tell you what I would have done in that situation, I'm going to tell you. Ask how you can help. Please. Don't attack. Don't choke. Don't kill. Don't take someone's life. Don't take someone's loved one from them because they're in a bad place. No one on that train said, you started out by saying, I'm hungry. I need food. I'm done with it. I don't know where to get food. I don't care if I die. I don't care if I go to jail. I'm just done. No one said, here you are, sir. Let me meet your need or help you in a situation or give a word of encouragement. That's not what happened on that train.
Now I got one question for the attorney of the family of Jordan Neely. Where was the family at? Did the family ask any of those questions? Because they had plenty of time to help Jordan Neely get off the streets. They had plenty of time to help him get through whatever he was going through. And if they would have done their responsibility and played their role as a family, he would not have been put in that situation. He would still be alive. Again, it's funny how that works. It's funny how they want to place the onus on strangers, on people who are not his caretakers, to somehow, some way, take his threats of violence or alleged threats of violence as a call for help. That they're supposed to say, hey, we're going to give you some help. Here's some food, right? While he's also telling them that, hey, I don't care if I die. You know, I can kill people, whatever. Allegedly, that's what he was saying. But nobody's asking, why didn't the family step up and help? Why didn't the family give a damn about Jordan Neely before all this happened? Why all of a sudden now they care when he's dead? If they would have cared before he died, before this happened, then this would not have happened. Again, it's amazing how that works. That's why, you know, these progressives coming out here and crying foul, right? Talking about, well, Jordan Neely shouldn't have been houseless. I think that's their new woke term there, houseless. He shouldn't have been homeless. Okay, all these people were the same people who were attacking Andrew Yang when Andrew Yang suggested that, hey, we need to institutionalize these people. We need to get these people off the streets. Andrew Yang came out here and proposed the actual solution, and progressives attacked him for it. And then they went out and voted for, you know, some lunatic, right, that was running to the left of him. Again, it's amazing how that works. So I don't want to hear anything about why didn't the strangers on the train decide to help him when his own family didn't want to help him. Speaking of strangers on the train, right? We have some witness testimony here that I find to be intriguing. As they're speaking out, and at least one witness is saying that she went back to thank Daniel Penny after Jordan Neely's death. And she says that she is actually praying for Daniel Penny. Again, you're not going to hear this in the mainstream media. This is not the narrative they're going to put out here. So let's read this. A straphanger who was on the subway when former Marine Daniel Penny placed Jordan Neely in a fatal chokehold said Thursday she's praying for Penny after it was revealed the 24-year-old would face charges tied to the high-profile case. Quote, I hope he has a great lawyer and I'm praying for him, the 66-year-old woman who did not want to be identified told the Post Thursday night. And I pray that he gets treated fairly. I really do, because after all of this ensued, I went back and made sure that I said thank you to him. Well, I wonder why she would do that, right? I'm pretty sure that, you know, she would only do that if she felt like this guy was a threat to her and other passengers on the subway, okay? The Manhattan District Attorney's Office confirmed Thursday afternoon Penny would be charged with second-degree manslaughter. He is expected to surrender to authorities Friday morning, which he already did. The subway rider said Neely, who had a history of mental illness, was threatening passengers after he hopped on an F train in Manhattan. He said, I don't care. I'll take a bullet. I'll go to jail because he would kill people on the train, the woman said of Neely. He said, quote, I would kill an MFer. I don't care. I'll take a bullet. I'll go to jail. The retiree said Penny did not initially engage with Neely during the wild rant until things got out of hand and he felt the urge to step in. Yeah, again, so this is a narrative here, again, that you're not going to hear or see in the mainstream liberal media, that he didn't immediately engage with him. He wasn't out here looking to lynch black people, right? Things got out of hand. This guy was threatening violence. Now, again, there have been multiple instances on the New York City subway. Okay, if you guys have ever been on the New York City subway, it's not for the faint of heart. Okay, it's really not. Okay, and you know, I can definitely see why people would feel threatened. Again, especially considering the incidents that have happened there in the past year. And this guy was like, look, I'm not gonna wait to be a victim. I'm not gonna wait to be a casualty. I'm gonna step in and stop the threat. I'm going to, at the very least, try to neutralize the threat. And I don't think that he actually meant to kill him. But, you know, unfortunately, that's what happened. Quote, this gentleman, Mr. Penny, did not stand up. The writer said he did not engage with the gentleman. He said not a word. It was all Mr. Neely that was threatening passengers if he did not get what he wants. Neely had a criminal history with more than 40 arrests. Law enforcement sources previously told the Post, quote, gonna go to jail for life. What penalties involve going to jail for life? She wondered. Could you tell me? Yeah, it's not kicking somebody in the shin or punching somebody in the face. The Marine could face up to 15 years if convicted of the manslaughter charge. His legal team said in a statement Thursday they were confident that once all the facts come out, Penny would be absolved of all wrongdoing. They argued he was protecting himself and other passengers. Yeah, and I believe that. I 100% believe it. But hey, we'll see the facts of the case. All I'm saying is that the outcome of this trial sets a precedent for, in the future, whether or not people will step up to stop potential threats of violence before they happen or even while they're happening. Because again, we know how this stuff works. A lot of these people are dangerous. This guy, Jordan Neely, had a history of assaulting people, including elderly folks. In the future, people might say, you know what? Hey, too bad, so sad that woman or grandma is getting beat up by some homeless guy. Let me not intervene because I might end up like Daniel Penny and doing 15 years in jail, okay, behind bars in a cage because I tried to stop a criminal. I'm just saying. The outcome of this trial is basically going to determine whether or not this country is more safe, okay, if it is proven, okay, or if the facts suggest that Daniel Penny actually acted in self-defense, but yet they found him guilty anyways of manslaughter. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.